Hello, everybody. Welcome to Witches and Wine, where we talk about witchy stuff and we drink wine. So I apologize for the Blair Witch look. You know, it's like, I'm not gonna live.
We're doing outdoor witches and wine tonight.
I'm not gonna live. We're in our backyard. We had our Llamas celebration, and combined with my 10-year-old's birthday party. So he's in the house with his friends playing video games, and we were out here after everybody left in our backyard. So we're outside.
We had a wonderful Llamas ritual and celebration, and dinner with a whole bunch of friends.
It was really cool.
Heaven mates, and then some friends of Cole's parent of us, and we were able to introduce him to who we are and what we're about, and he proceeded to tell us that he already kind of figured. He just confirmed it, which is awesome.
It was very open-minded, and it was pretty cool. So it's kind of late. It's a Sunday night. Yeah, we usually film on Friday nights, but we were really busy. So I've had some food. I've had some drink. I've had a little. So I'm kind of tired, but we still want to do an episode, and we're outside, and it feels really good because, like, earlier it was like 100 degrees, and our house was, oh my God, it was awful.
We legitimately had 10 plus kids running through the house.
We have a tiny little house.
Yeah, small house, 10 kids, ages from 4 to 16.
4? No, 4-year-olds.
Agent?
Really?
Yeah, agent's 4.
All right, well, yeah, from 4 to 17.
Yeah, and so a large amount of children, as well as a bunch of adults. So we did celebrate Llamas. We were going to talk about the Wheel of the Year and Sabbats, but we decided to talk about something that we are very familiar with, and it could be considered controversial or whatnot. We'll talk about the Wheel of the Year another time. Yeah.
But we wanted to talk about, first of all, what wine are we drinking? This is not our normal night to do stuff, so I'm a little off.
So tonight I chose a Cabernet Sauvignon from the California region. It's from Paso Robles. It's called Carson Ridge. It's a very nice dark colored cab, lots of dark berry fruit, a little bit of fruit, just a little bit of oaking, some medium tannins in it. Very easy drinking, about $15 a bottle. Nice for an everyday cab. And I just chose it because I really like this bottle.
You just what?
I just chose it for no other reason than I like this bottle and I want to enjoy it tonight.
Thank you, honey. Thank you, silent as Stardust. It's been that kind of night. Clink and drink.
Clink and drink.
Oh.
100-degree weather with lots of beer drinking and eating of food and
it's
lots of
Llamas.
cakes.
What do you expect? It's the height of summer, and where we live is it's getting hotter and hotter every year. Like, I don't like it. It makes me grumpy, but I put up with it.
So, why we chose what we chose this evening?
Oh, he's okay.
Because we were able to come across some things that are going to allow us to greater connect with deity.
Okay, just stop pussyfooting around. So, hallucinagenics. We do not condone using it, but we are not against it. And in your personal life, we have experience with that. But as a way to connect with in ritual work and in witchcraft, I think personally, just because from experience, I think it would be interesting to, do this. We like to call like weed sacred herb. Smoke a little weed, get in touch with Pan or whatever. Drink. We do it anyways. Drink a little wine, get in touch with Dionysus. Hail Dionysus.
Hail Dionysus.
But there are, pros and cons. I mean, they're still drugs. They're illegal. We're talking about mushrooms, acid, ecstasy, like that stuff that puts you in an altered state.
And they can be dangerous. You have to be in the right mindset. You have to be of stable mind in a safe environment for you to be considered to do anything like this. What's right for one person may not be right for another. Do not judge either way. We want you to do what's right for you.
And this isn't about, and I just felt like, I've had a rough week. I've had, and I finally was able to relax tonight with a little bit of wine and some food and some worship and community with my coven members and whatnot. And we met a really cool person that connected with us. We, like you said earlier, it was a father of one of our son's friends that they go to school together. And he had asked about our tattoos that we have. And we were like, there are coven tattoos. We're witches, we're Wiccan. And he was like, I knew it. That's awesome. And then as he was talking and he ran home to get his oracle cards, it's like, oh, this guy, yeah, he's down. And then he proceeded, I didn't mean to say that, proceeded to give us mushrooms. And we haven't taken them. We're not that retarded, but we wouldn't be able to have a show. But it got us thinking about, using that in ritual work. And how there's a lot of pros to that.
Well, a lot of divinatory stuff you can do with it. Because and internal exploration you can do with it, because it breaks down some barriers that are naturally there, and it allows you to look past them and do it in a mindset where you're okay with coming across things that normally you wouldn't be so maybe open-minded to dealing with.
Yeah.
In the past, in lots of psychoanalytical work, they have used psilocybin for PTSD and so forth to help people get past it.
Psilocybin is magic mushrooms.
Yeah, it's the chemical that's in mushrooms that causes you to hallucinate, but it also causes you to get a euphoric state that allows you to sometimes cope with things, so to speak.
Yeah.
And with witchcraft, you're always looking inward.
But you're also reaching out, because we work with our chakras, and we work with energy, and we work with speaking to spirits, and so we're always on some other level or other state of mind that maybe the mundane would be like, are they high? And it's like, that's just how we are. That's what we do. And not getting high, we get a spiritual high. Yeah. But it doesn't hurt. I know of covens and people that use psychedelic drugs for ritual work, and that's very there's both sides. People are like, oh my God, no way, that's condoning drug use. You shouldn't have to use that to get in touch with deity, And I get that. I totally get that. Like, I get it more than most people would think I get. But then there's the other side. It's like, it kind of loosens you up a little bit. It helps you maybe see things that maybe you're blocking and you're not quite seeing. And so, sorry, I just saw something behind you. We're in our backyard. We have a lot of spirits and weird stuff in our backyard. So there was something that just went right back here, and there's nobody out here. Anyway, and I'm not on drugs. So I'm just saying, not taking psychedelics.
Nope. This is just us.
It's just how we are. We just see things.
But it's what you're just saying in the aspect of it helps break down barriers and so forth, and allows you to move. What's right for one person is right for that person. What's right for another person is right for that person.
Yeah.
Don't judge another if they're pro or anti it. It's not, respect their choice for them.
Absolutely. There's no wrong or right.
Yeah.
But if you do want to use psychedelics in your witchcraft or your ritual work, there's certain things that you need to be aware of. You need to be aware of your surroundings. Are you with people you trust? Now, if you're doing it by yourself, okay, but still, your surroundings, now it's about the energy that you are already putting out, and it's about your intent, as always with any kind of magical spell. but you're adding something, and again, it depends on the person. Now, if the witch has used hallucinogenics, then they might know what to expect. But if there's someone that's interested in it and hasn't done it, but would be like, you know what, I can use it for ritual. Yeah. Like I say, sacred herbs, sacred mushrooms, sacred. It's
keep it natural.
You know, it can get you to somewhere that maybe you just need that little push. Yeah. And so you need to be able to be you have to be really comfortable in your surroundings. I mean, that is the number one thing, whether you're using it in ritual work or not. And we're not telling you how to use drugs and rituals. We're just saying that if you're gonna do it, I just very much highly suggest that you are completely 110% comfortable in your surroundings. So, first and foremost.
So we've talked about, you know, possibly doing it for ritual work. What do you hope to experience with it, not both internally and as collectively as a coven?
Well, it would be really interesting because there's a couple things. One, I'd be interested in seeing people that I know that I think it might do really wonders for. They can maybe let go a little and just, you know, kind of, I don't know, just let go, let goddess, you know, just get that what they're fighting, there's a block in certain people. Certain people have things they block and they hold on to and they just won't, you know, you can't be that way when you're on psychedelics. They won't let you. Whether you could be the most stubborn, you could say mind over matter. No, they just it literally releases things in your brain that make you feel really good and see what you're supposed to see.
It can help open up the other 90% that we normally don't.
That we don't open up. Exactly. We only use 10% of our brain, people. Everyone knows that. Come on, think about it. What is that other 90% doing? What? Come on, we tap into that.
And just like in our practice, understand that it's going to have a light and a dark. It's not always rainbows, but sometimes, you know what?
You might have a dark trip, but maybe you were supposed to. You were supposed to learn something from that.
You might get more of a dark trip because it's going to take you past where you're normally accepting to go.
So you need to be prepared for that because it doesn't pussyfoot. It doesn't sugarcoat. It's going to open up the recesses of your brain that you have shut off, and we're like, I don't want to deal with that. And we're not judging everyone. I do that. You know, I do that.
Yeah.
You know, we all do that. We're freaking human, but be prepared. And again, it's just like the religion that we are studying of Wicca. Wicca has you face your shadow self. Wicca has you acknowledge that you do have, you know, dark with your light. And sometimes hallucinogenics will bring out the dark.
In classic apothecaryism, mushrooms and other naturals, hallucinogenics, were used all the time for people to deal with mental illness and other things. And it had a beneficial effect before it started becoming outlawed in the more recent times. But 400 or 500 years ago, very regular usage, but by medicine men to help with people.
Yeah.
And for a lot of different reasons.
Well, even in the
to exorcise demons, even in the context,
and even in, you know, the world of psychology and there's people up until the 70s, ecstasy psychologists would give, or therapists or whatever, would give some of their couples therapy. They would give them small doses of ecstasy, so these couples would open up and hug each other and love each other and be honest with each other, and it worked wonders. I mean, it worked wonders. And it moderation. You can use it to open up. You can use it to get in touch with deity. You know, you don't have to, but if you want to, there are ways to do it. Just do your research. Make sure do it with, I don't know. I wouldn't suggest if you really want to do this, if you really want to experience that altered state, besides what you get from being a witch, we already reach altered states without any alcohol or, there's a car backfiring. Welcome to the city.
Yep. Living in the ghetto.
Oh. Is that a song? I'm just doing a dance. Anyway,
Get jiggy with it. 1998 all over again, baby.
Oh, God. Anyway, so just make sure that like we reach a spiritual high now without the aid of hallucinogenics or anything. And we have a really good time when we invoke and we go to that altered state. And I've always said, can we get to that altered state quicker because of our past experiences? Or are we just now learning that we can do it and we don't need the medicine to help us? So, what?
It was just a car driving past.
Oh, okay. So, so again, you don't have to do it. There's people that are like, I don't need it, and that's great. Our dogs are barking.
Like I said, no rights or wrong. When I was younger, I used to take hallucinogens to connect with deity. I just didn't realize that's what I was doing. What I was going out and experiencing and searching for, I have come more recently to realize that I was talking with deity and communicating with it. And I get the same euphoric experience, maybe not the visual experience, but the euphoric internal experience when I invoke or when I speak with an invoked deity or an evoked deity around me.
Yeah, and we were able to do that, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's we're already have trained our brains with the illegal substances that we have put, or if we just, because I don't need to take that to get quote unquote that spiritual high anymore. But I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of cool when you can add that to it. It enhances. It's like those KY jellies for sex. Our Lord. Apparently, we're not supposed to talk about this. Hold on, let me pause this. Okay, sorry about that.
Technical difficulties.
It's when you build a makeshift studio in your backyard. It doesn't work all the time. So anyway,
fly in the dark, technical things happen.
Basically, our overall message is, if it's something you want to try, you need to do your research. You need to make sure that you're safe. You need to make sure that maybe there's someone with you that you trust, a high priestess or whatnot that maybe has done it. Talk about it, because doing it with ritual work is not an unheard of thing. I mean, shamans have been doing this. That's how they did shamanistic journeys, for Christ's sakes. It's like, this is older than we are, you know. Do you have anything to say? We probably need to wrap it up because our dogs are freaking out. But go ahead and add your...
as Lola was saying...
Kill my dogs.
No, don't be talking about killing the dogs. As Lola was saying... If it's going to be right for you, it's going to be right for you. Understand that there is a spiritual aspect to it, but there's also a lot of internal struggle that can happen because you do a lot of personal inspection.
Yeah.
You really allow yourself to dig into your psyche, and because it isn't just, you gotta understand, it's not just like a half an hour thing. You have a few hours, ahead of you, 3 to 10 hours based on what you choose to do. And understand that in that experience, you're gonna have different levels and experiences. And through that, you have to understand what they're there for and what their value they bring. Because...
Nay, come here. Come here.
It can be the most joyous thing.
Come here.
It can be a difficult journey. I won't say bad, because you always learn something from it.
Yeah.
And when you're doing it for spiritual work, you're really going to connect to deity, and the deity that you need to speak to is the one that's going to present itself. It may not be the one that you normally speak with or work with. It might be someone that you have heard someone else talk about, or one of your friends, or read about, but you've never worked with them, and they might just come screaming forth saying, tonight's the night that me and you connect, and I got stuff to teach you, let's go.
Yeah.
And you need to go with it, but maintain your boundaries and respect yourself throughout.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with it. Like, if you're curious about it, then talk to someone about it. Talk to someone in your coven, talk to a high priestess, email us. We have some experience with this. We're not scientists or doctors, but the reason why we're doing this conversation is because I've heard people talk about, I've been interested in using marijuana for ritual work, or mushrooms, or acid, or whatever. Those things that you alter your state of being. I'm not talking about synthetic. Ecstasy is synthetic. We're not talking about like methamphetamines and cocaine and stuff like that.
Keep it.
That's for going clubbing. But yeah, try to keep it earthy. So mushrooms and marijuana, ecstasy and acid can be really, really fun. But if you want to start out, I suggest your marijuana and your mushrooms. Again, we are not condoning drug use. We're adults here. We're assuming if you're watching this,
we're happy to live in a state where marijuana is legal.
Yes,
and so we're not breaking the law if and when we consume marijuana.
Be aware that if you do decide to work with shrooms or anything else, there is the legality of it, and marijuana, whatever state you're in. So you have to take those things into consideration and be responsible, and don't put yourself in jeopardy. God and Goddess will love you. You don't need to take it. I'm just saying, if you're interested in it, it can enhance. Yep. And that's what I was talking about, the KY jelly. Yeah. That's what knocked it. No one wanted me to talk about KY jelly, but they have those extreme whatever.
Well, the cameraman got excited.
And it enhances your sexual whatever. You don't need to, but why not play with it? That's all I'm saying. So anyway, we apologize for this impromptu. This is the only time we were able to do this. Our dogs are going crazy. We might have to make stew out of them. I'm just kidding. We would never do that to our dogs on camera. So, if you want to be a guest on our show, please email us at
crossroadscoven at gmail.com. I screwed it up this week, not you.
Crossroads. Clink and drink.
Crossroads with an S.
Crossroadscoven. Hold on.
gmail.com.
Crossroadscoven at gmail.com.
Until next week, guys.
So thank you for being with us. Remember to always be kind to one another. Walk with the Goddess. And until next time, blessed be. Bye, guys. See you next week.